салом дӯстон, рӯз бихер, чӣ ҳалед?
муҳаббати беканори як сокини оддии Амрико ба забону фарҳанг ва мусиқии тоҷикӣ. ӯ то ба ҳадде ошиқи тоҷикистон аст ки ҳатто барои худ номи тоҷикӣ интихоб намуда.
ман Комрон ҳастам. My Tajik friends call me Kamran. My name in English is Ken, but I feel honored that they consider me a part of their culture and call me Kamran.
кен аз Калифорнияи Амрико меҳмони доимии хонаводаҳои тоҷик аст. меҳмоннавозии тоҷикон ва ҳунарнамоии овозхонҳои тоҷик ӯро ба ваҷд овардааст.
Ба худа I love Sadriddin. Okay. I love her name Shabnam Suraya. Okay.
ӯ суруд мехонад, албатта бо забони тоҷикӣ. ин аст ки ҳамеша гули сари сабади маҳфилҳои дӯстони тоҷикаш аст.
барои дил ҳам дил нест, барои дил манзил нест, маро дар ин роҳ соҳил нест.
ашъори шоирони классики тоҷикро мутолиа мекунад ва ҳатто онҳоро оҳанг мебандад.
You guys have amazing poetry. The way that your language is structured is perfect. I feel like it was made for poetry.
ишқаш ба мусиқӣ аз кӯдакӣ манша мегирад ва гиторнавозӣ ягона ҳунари ӯ нест.
Ба як мард чил ҳунар кам аст. I really like that.
салом мухлисони шабакаи Салом Амрико. Мо имрӯз ба Майами омадем то ба нафаре суҳбат намоем ки дӯстдори фарҳанги тоҷикӣ, забони тоҷикӣ, санъати тоҷикӣ ва махсусан мусиқии тоҷикист. Кен Касл, сокини Калифорнияи Амрико. хуш омадед ба барномаи мо.
Номи форсӣ Комрон. Салом ба Тоҷикистон, дӯстони азиз. Сипос барои даъват дӯстон.
Саломат бошед Комрон. It's a Tajik name. So how did you get this name?
Yeah, it's a Persian name. Obviously, you guys are part of Persia as well. When I was in high school, I'll tell you the story. In high school, I had lots of friends that were from Iran, Afghanistan, and they said, we feel you're part of us. So they said, we need to give you a Persian name. I said, okay, what name will you give me? So they sat, they talked, they said, your name is Ken. Starts with a K. They said, "Oh, Kamran." So, Kamran Hassan.
The main reason that we are here, and we know that you are a huge fan of Tajik culture, Tajik music.
I have respect.
And also Tajik people.
Yes.
And Tajik language. So, tell us how come that you start having interest on all of this.
Like I said, since I was young, I had a lot of friends. Being somebody that's of mixed culture, all these kinds of things, you know, I always felt a love for different cultures and appreciation for the diversity of cultures. But I really fell in love with Persian people, their culture, their food, their music. So I began having like a lot of friends, like I said, younger Iranian friends, later Afghanistan friends, you know, even friends from Turkmenistan, and now I have lots of Tajik friends. They're some of the most hospitable people I've ever met. I still have yet to meet a Tajik that I didn't like. So your culture is beautiful, and I really appreciate that. And one of my friends shared with me some Tajik songs, and the music and the rhythm is so different than American music. The chords, the melodies are so different than American music. It's beautiful. So I really began to appreciate that, and I really got into that music.
So you said that your friend introduced you to Tajik music and Tajik singers, I'm pretty sure. So, like, do you know any famous Tajik singers and which you like their songs and their music and all?
Oh, my goodness. Bakhuda, I love Sadriddin. Okay. I love her name Shabnam Suraya.
Shabnam Suraya.
Okay. There's another one, Amonkulova.
Negina
Amonkulova. Of course, I love other Iranian and Afghanistan singers, but as far as Tajikistan, those are my favorites.
What exactly do you like in their song? Like, what attracts you the most?
You know, something that attracts me to all people of Persian descent is the poetry.
Yeah.
The poetry, you guys have amazing poetry. The way that your language is structured is perfect. I feel like it was made for poetry.
Yeah.
When I listen to a poem in English, I have a deep appreciation for the words and the feeling that I get. But when I listen to a poem in Farsi, in Tajik, and then even, let's say I don't understand fully what the poem is saying, but I'll ask a friend, hey, what does this mean? Can you help me translate it? And then when he tells me the words, wow.
Yeah.
It's like it's kaif. It like hits me in the heart.
I can tell you that there is no Tajiks who doesn't know poems. Like,
I believe you.
Yeah, they start teaching us since we are like 7, 8 years old, and entire our life in a school, elementary school, high school, and all those times they teach us how to read the poems. And I'm pretty sure you know many of poets, famous Tajik poets, which like Rumi,
Sure.
Khayyam,
Yes, of course.
Rudaki,
Yeah. The Rubaiyat. Yes.
yeah, Rubaiyat, which they have really good Rubaiyat. Do you read them in Tajik, or you just read them in English? And do you sing a song from those poems as well?
My dear friend, dӯстон Aziz, I wish I could read them in Tajik. I wish I could read them in Farsi. My knowledge of Persian writing and the Cyrillic alphabet is very limited. But I do have a friend who has an Omar Khayyam book, and it's in Tajik, it's in Farsi, and it's in English. So it's a beautiful way to read. I can see the beautiful script in Persian. I can see the text in Cyrillic, and I can also read the beautiful message in my language in English and get the feeling.
I'll tell you the short story about myself that you might get impressed. So when I was coming to US, so I was about to get a lot of things because it's like long flight, and I was planning to stay here for a while. So I started taking everything, and I was like we checked them before take a flight. So, and we shouldn't take a lot of things. Like in a flight, you can't. Yeah. So I was looking to everything. So I said, not this one, not this one, not this one, and I saw the Omar Khayyam book, and it was the last book. I said, should I take one, or should I take one? Should I take something more important than that? I said, okay, I will take this with me because this is part of our culture. There is a lot of meaning in every single word in that book. So I'm pretty sure that the friend which you know, he might be the big fan of Omar Khayyam, and I am one of those as well. And this is why we are here as well. Like, look, this culture, this kind of poetry makes us closer, and right now we are sitting together and we are talking about culture of the music, about culture of the poetry, about all the things which makes people closer to each other. I believe there is no border when there is a cultural things.
Of course.
Yeah. So
when there is a shared love for anything, a shared interest, some union, some collaboration, anything can be done. And it brings us closer together.
That's so true. What type of the music do you like listening in Tajik, or what type of music do you like playing?
I really appreciate like traditional music. I believe it's Negina Amonkulova.
Yes.
She has the very traditional songs. Those songs which maybe I don't know, your grandfather or grandmother listened to.
Yeah.
It really touches my heart.
Yes.
To feel the culture of a people and to see that someone young like Negina Amonkulova still preserves her whole culture, her ethnicity, and just the beautiful colors of her country.
You know, it's another funny fact that is, I know probably you don't know about it, but I'm telling you, there was days I went to a couple places here in Washington DC area.
Sure. And
like places where Tajik people work over there, and I was listening to the song which you were playing, and by like I started looking at it, and by some other Tajiks they were recording you, and I was listening like I know you for a long time, and
sure.
I'm hearing this song that it was made like it was like by I think
Safar Muhammad.
Yes, by Safar Muhammad, and when I go there and I listen that you are playing the song, and I said, oh my goodness, I thought it's a Tajik, then I go, it's you, and I think you are playing pretty good and like Tajik songs, and it really impressed me a lot, and it feels different when I hear those songs which were played by you. We will come back to this conversation because this should be a long conversation. How you found interest in that song and you keep playing it? What was the reason? I heard that Maruf is your friend who you guys playing together.
I have a friend named Maruf. That's true.
Yeah, we will talk about all of this. But tell me right now about yourself. How did you find interest in music and like in general? Like, what's the reason that you have interest in music?
I can freely tell you that you know, since I was a kid, my family is musical. I have an uncle that was in music. My father was in music. I believe they say sometimes you have it in your soul. You know, so I feel that I have that music in my soul.
Tajik music in your soul?
Not just no music in general. But yes, I have a special appreciation for Tajik music. I became interested. Are you asking me in music in general?
I was asking music in general, but just you know, this is the way how I talk. Yeah, I want to hear mostly about Tajik music.
Of course. Yeah, no, definitely. The Tajik music has taken over my heart recently.
It takes my heart sometimes when you play it as well.
Thank you.
So you're welcome. Yeah, keep.
So yeah, as a kid, you know, my grandmother, she wanted to teach me how to play piano. She was very like proud to teach piano and pass that legacy on to myself. Unfortunately, as a kid, I did not want to learn piano. My sister ended up learning piano. She plays beautifully. I can play, but not very well. My father, when I was young, like 4 or 5 years old, he bought me a small guitar, like for kids. You know, kuchik.
Yes.
So
ukulele?
Yeah, like ukulele. So he wanted me to play, and I was excited to play, but because I was a kid, I couldn't focus on that. You know, when you're a kid, either someone really needs to push you to do it, or you should yourself have that desire to do it. When I was a kid, I didn't have that desire. So as I got older, you know, I got into high school, and I started listening to a lot of different kinds of music, rock and roll, and you know, metal and heavy metal, and classical music really took my heart, actually. Classical music is what got me the most into music. Classical music. So that's why I have a deep appreciation for Tajik cultural music, folk music, because it really shows the roots of where we came from. So for me, that classical music is a connection to our ancestors, you know, and our culture, our roots. So I began wanting to learn how to play guitar. So I went and I said, you know, my dad had a guitar. He had an electric guitar. He had an acoustic guitar, but my father doesn't like for anybody to touch his things. So I went.
He's like my father.
Yeah, I believe it. So what I did what any smart boy would do. I went to my mother. I said, hey, Mom, do you think I could play with my dad's guitar? And she said, I think it's fine, but I think you should wait till he comes so you can ask him. So exactly what I didn't want, right? So I waited, and my father came home, and I want to ask him, but I got like shy. So I asked my mom again, can you ask him for me? She said, okay, I'll ask him for you. So she said, okay, he said you could play it. So I began to play the guitar, and I wanted to learn. I really wanted to learn how to play it. And I went to my father for help. So I said, Dad, like, thank you for letting me use your guitar. Can you teach me how to play? And my father is a very strict man. At least he was when I was younger. And he said, my son, I already gave you the opportunity to learn. He said, now you learn for yourself. So I got upset, actually. You know, we shouldn't be upset with our parents, but I got upset, and I took that upset and it took it inside me. And what happened, instead of getting upset and saying, you know, I'm not going to learn, I got upset and I said I will prove him wrong, because the way he said it made me feel like he didn't believe I could play. He didn't believe I would be able to learn, because he said I already tried. You didn't want to learn. So I said, no, I will learn. You know, and instead of being upset and staying upset, I used that upset feeling to become motivated to learn how to play. And after school, I would come home, believe it or not, we go to school for hours, 6 hours, 8 hours, 10 hours. Sometimes I had in the morning, I had a club in the morning before school to go study. Then you have school. Then after school, I had sports. I had theater. I would go and participate in my church. And then I would still come home every day. I would do my homework. Sometimes, I won't lie, I didn't always do my homework, but I did well in school.
We all do that sometimes.
Of course. But sometimes the guitar took over my time because every day for the first month, at least 1 hour of playing guitar. Every day.
At least 1 hour.
At least 1 hour of playing guitar. Okay, I played until my fingers bled. And then I kept playing. And within a month or two, I began to be able to play chords. Because at first you play and you go, man, I wish I sounded like that music I heard on the radio.
I read somewhere recently that 20 hours of real practice can improve any skills, or you can learn any skills in 20 hours. Is it true? Like
my friend, what you say
because like you said, you tried every day for 1 hour for a month or something. So
31 hours.
31 hours. Is it true that
it was more than that? Some days was more.
Yeah.
But yes, what you're saying is correct. When you immerse yourself in something, it's the best way to learn anything. I'm sure you can relate to that coming from Tajikistan. You spoke English, but your English is incredible now.
Thank you. It used to be very, very bad. So it's improving every day.
Of course.
I think 20 hours wasn't enough. I need 20,000 or 20 million hours in order to improve it.
There's a rule actually. It's called the rule of genius. The rule of mastery. If you put 1,000 hours into something, after 20 hours you become a novice. You're a beginner. You have the flavor for it. After 100 hours, you become adequate, right? After 1,000 hours, on average, most people will master what it is they're doing.
I see. We talked a lot, but we have in Tajik we say this, that shunidan kayb vad monandi didan. Nobody is going to believe us if we don't show them some sample of what we are doing, because shunidan kayb vad monandi didan is so that's why, using that sentence, we are going to play some music, especially it should be Tajik music, by you.
Tajik music,
yes, by Komroни, and let's see. From there we will continue.
I will play you a song by Safar Muhammad.
Good.
I said I really appreciate those traditional musics. I feel I'm not skilled enough to play that kind of music yet. It's difficult. It's a very complex music. But I was able to learn a song that I like by this guy.
Okay. I see. Okay, so let's play. Here's a guitar. And here's you. Here is our producer, here is our boss, so everyone looking, the sponsor is sitting right next to the producer, so if they allow us, we will start playing.
Sure, of course, it would be my pleasure.
I guarantee I do not have a skills. I spent actually 20 hours of playing, and
really?
And I understood that I'm a bad learner. So that 20 hours learning is not good for me. That's why I'm going to give it to the professional who use those things properly.
I'll say this: there's no bad learner in anything. I believe this strongly. I believe that my mother used to tell me when I was a kid, where there's a will, there's a way. I was in the same boat as you. My fingers hurt. I want to quit. Once my fingers opened up, I said, "What is this? This is terrible. I'm going to stop." But I came home the next day, I listened to some music, I said, I want to play like that. So I picked up my guitar and I kept playing. I'll tell you this, after that first month, my fingers became hard.
I see.
And now, it doesn't hurt.
Now, not just you learn how to play a guitar, you made your fingers stronger than before.
That's right. Baroin تو دیگر شام و هم سحر معنی ندارد هم بود و نبود شعر و هم سرود معنی ندارد ولی تو دیگر شام و هم سحر معنی ندارد هم بود و نبود شعر و هم سرود معنی ندارد برای این دل هم دل نیست برای این دل منزل نیست مرا در این راه ساحل نیست بعد تو دیگر شام و هم سحر معنی ندارد هم بود و نبود شعر و هم سرود معنی ندارد ولی تو دیگر شام و هم سحر معنی ندارد هم بود و نبود شعر و هم سرود معنی ندارد ولی تو دیگر شام و هم سحر معنی ندارد هم بود و نبود شعر و هم سرود معنی ندارد ولی تو دیگر شام و هم سحر معنی ندارد.
آفرین. Let me ask you a question.
Sure.
I don't know will you answer the question or no, but I want to hear the answer.
Yeah.
So I was a guest, me and some of our, like my friends, Tajik friends, we were guests to your house.
Yeah.
And your father, thanks to him, he played for us as well.
Yes.
I was really, really impressed by him as well. It's different style, different way of playing, and it was so good. To be honest, I really like it.
Sure.
So we have a saying, Tajik saying that shogird dar hayrat monad ustadro, which means like there is sometimes students which like you teach them and in the end you see that they impress their teachers more than them, like the teacher get impressed, say, wow, you are better than us. Can you say that you are better than your father? Can you say that you are better than your ustad?
Dӯстон, so you said earlier you were a bad student.
Yes.
I'm telling you, seriously, I am the bad student. I did not dedicate enough time to this instrument the way that my father has dedicated, and he is much older than me and much wiser than me. So respectfully, I can say that no, I did not exceed my ustad.
I think I knew the answer. Otherwise, you would go and you would have some issue as well.
That's true.
But to be honest, he plays really good.
Oh,
so yeah, let's give him a big credit for him. Not just for playing really good, but having you as a future of him, like playing really good as well. So thank you so much. And there's other songs that actually getting very popular around Tajiks, and you are playing it in your language. And I do remember one time you played it, and I said, "Wow, it's something like taking me somewhere. You know, like it feels different."
Take me in.
Take me in. Yes. Yeah. Would you mind to play that one for our audience as well? I think they would be crazy by that song.
For you guys,
as well.
I will play another song. Sure. I can do it. Okay. It would be my pleasure.
Yes.
So before I play that song, I want to play something that my father taught me how to play. After I learned how to play guitar, he was so happy. Actually, at first, I think he was in disbelief that I learned to play in such a short amount of time. Afterwards, he was so happy. You know, my father asked me, did I want to buy a new guitar? Wow. I said, no, this guitar is special to me because you played it and I learned how to play on this guitar. I said, can I have this guitar? And he said, of course. And he gave me that guitar. And he taught me how to play. My father is a very interested in like Spanish classical music and classical music in general as well. So he taught me how to play a small piece, and I'll just play you. I don't know the whole piece, but I know a small part of it. So
that would be great.
Okay, great. So this is like a classical Spanish style guitar. So it's just, you know, the finger style, the finger playing, I'm not so good at, but this particular way of using your fingers, I really appreciate how it sounds. There's people who are much better than me. They do all kinds of things with their guitar, and it sounds amazing. But I just wanted to share that with you because it's something that is special to me and it's special to my father.
I think it becomes special for us as well.
Okay, I will play you
Take Me In.
that song that you were talking about, Take Me In. Take me past the outer courts to the holy place, past the brazen altar, Lord, I want to see your face. Take me past the crowds of people and the priests who sing their praise. I hunger and thirst for your righteousness, but it's only found one place. Take me into the holy of holies. Take me in by the blood of the Lamb. Take me into the holy of holies. Take the call, touch my lips, here I am. Take me past the outer courts into the holy place, past the brazen altar, Lord, I want to see your face. Take me past the crowds of people and the priests who sing their praise. I hunger and thirst for your righteousness, and it's only found one place. Take me into the holy of holies. Take me in by the blood of the Lamb. Take me into the holy of holies. Take the call, touch my lips, here I am. Take me into the holy of holies. Take me in by the blood of the Lamb. Take me into the holy of holies. Take the call, touch my lips, here I am. Take the call, touch my lips, here I am. Take the call, touch my lips, here I am. Take the call, touch my lips, here I am.
Wow, amazing, man. I love it. Let me do it for you. Let me do it for you. After playing this song, I think it's better if I serve you for a while.
Tashakkur, dostum.
Tajik has this kind of saying, "Bayag mard chil hunar kamast," which means for one man there's 40 skills is not enough. So you should have more than 40 skills for a man, you know. So tell me, do you know how to play two other instruments? Do you have other skills as well, or the guitar is the one which you play?
Bayagmad Chil Hunar Kamas. I really like that. Yeah, I play guitar. I sing. When I was in school, I also learned how to play I was in the band, like the school band, so I learned how to play trumpet, baritone, trombone. I mean, pretty much anything that is a brass instrument that has valves.
I see.
I can play it to some degree.
That's good. Do you know how to play piano?
Yeah, as I mentioned before, I know how to play a little bit, but by no means am I any expert or even near how I play on guitar. And by the way, I feel that I don't play guitar like that.
You know, sometimes I say I know this, I know that, I know
Sure.
that, but sometimes I don't know them very well, and people, I know that people cannot track me. So for you, I hope you are telling me the truth, because we do have a piano right there, and you need to prove how you play with piano as well.
Oh, we'll see if I remember how terrible I am. Maybe.
Let's see. Here we go, my friend. Piano for you. Okay, we'll see. We'll see what happens. دوستان آفرین بفرمایید. It was wonderful, my friend. It was amazing. It was amazing. So let me ask you this question, that there's a lot of Tajik people around the world, also especially in US as well. They have a good skills of music skills, like all other skills as well. So I want to ask especially about musical part of it. So what would you recommend? You know, like when you go to other country and you do have skills, you do have like that thing which most of the people like it on you, but when you go to other country, you cannot use that one. So what would you recommend, or what would you give them as advice to those people who come here, and some of them, because of they start doing other thing in order to like live in this society, and because they cannot find the useful part of their skills here, what do you recommend them to do, and what kind of motivation can you give them in order to keep alive what they learned or what they're good at?
Sure. First and foremost, the best advice I could give anybody is, if you are doing something that you love, if there's something that you really enjoy and you were good at it in your country, or maybe it's just a hobby, whatever it is, always pursue it and never lose the dream and never lose hope that you can accomplish it. I strongly believe that mindset is everything. So if you have a positive attitude and you feed positivity into your mind, then that will help you stay motivated. I can't understand how it is for those people who come from your country and maybe they were doctors, maybe they were people, historians or teachers or something in media, and they come here, and of course, it doesn't transition the same way it would if they were to get a different job in Tajikistan or in whatever country, Uzbekistan, Russia, wherever it might be.
It takes long time.
It takes time to translate
yes.
that. I know language is a barrier.
Yeah.
You know, I know that the way that business is done here is a barrier.
Yeah, and the system is different.
Yeah, the system is different. So I totally get that. But what I would say, my best advice, you know, coming from somebody that doesn't know the struggle, but coming from somebody that knows my own struggle, that you should always persevere, you know, and always stay dedicated. Write down your goals, and every time you accomplish your goal, you should celebrate it. You know, if you come and your goal is to get an apartment and you got your apartment, celebrate it, okay? And then check off that goal, write down a new goal, and continue to pursue those goals. The next thing I would say is associate with people or groups that can help you in those areas, or just in general. You know, they say birds of a feather flock together, right? So if you're a bird of this same feather and I'm a bird of this same feather, we're going to build each other up, you know?
Here's the thing, the purpose of our program is to introduce people who live in US to others as well, especially to Tajik community, and to entertain them, to give them advices, to show them how other people are big fan of Tajik culture, and also to help them to build themselves to the better way, you know, to the better side of themselves. So for example, they can watch, they can see that, for example, they can see you that how you like that culture which we have, and they would keep working on what they know and what they're good at. And we want to do the same thing, and maybe some people who live here from our country, and maybe they do have the same skills as you have. Is it okay if they reach you and they start communicating with you, they start working with you in the things which you are good at?
Sure.
And by this way, it will be much more easier for them to reach what they want to reach in their life, and like the system will not play a big role in this case, because it's going to go from one side to another side, and with both sides of help, you can improve in something yourself, he can improve, like they can improve themselves in something, and maybe we will reach something better together.
Sure. Of course, I'm always open to anybody who wants to improve themselves, people who are in a position to help somebody, and those people who I've had as my mentors, I became shocked, because I thought somebody who's high level, high position, and who is successful, they would say, I don't have time for you. But something that I learned is the most successful people, like you said, they teach, and in teaching they learn.
Yes.
You know, so I was shocked. I've had mentors in my life personally, and the first thing they said to me is, how can I serve you? How can I help you? So the same way I would say to somebody who maybe wanted help or wanted to communicate, how can I help you? You know, and on top of that, they're here, they're my mehman.
Thank you so much, Ken or Komron. It was a pleasure to have you here, and it would be a good platform like Salom Amriko for others to reach you and to exchange the skills which they have, you have, and you guys can improve each other. It would be amazing. So thank you so much.
Oh, of course, you're very welcome. I just want to say one thing. Ba Tajikistan, bere Salom Amerika, Khoda Hafiz. Sipos dostam.
Sipos, salomat boshad dostam. یادداشت میشن که کاستیلو از کالیفرنیای امریکا در مهمونی ما حضور داشتند. سلامت و سربلند باشد.